Hey everyone, I have a quick programming note. The podcast is steadily closing in on its 100th episode. And yes, I am counting the supplemental episodes too. I figured that this would be a good time to do an episode to address any questions you may have about the novel, the time period, or whatever. Depending on when you're listening to this announcement, we are about 14 or 15 episodes out from reaching the century mark. That's another 4 to 5 months away, so we're looking at probably the end of October or early November. That seems like a ways off, but I want to get this announcement out there now so that there will be time for you to submit questions and time for me to prepare answers to those questions. I'll probably stop taking new questions at the end of September so that I can finish writing that episode and record it. So, if there are questions you've been wanting to ask, now's your chance. Send your questions to threekingdomspodcast@gmail.com, and that's Three Kingdoms Podcast with a number 3. That email address is listed on the contact page on the show's website, threekingdomspodcast.com. But what happens if you don't get that many questions, you might ask? Well, in that case, I would just answer those questions that I do get individually via email and move on with the show. If there's a question that I think is worth addressing to the larger audience for the podcast, I might post it on the website. Also, I'm going to put forth the caveat here that I reserve the right to not answer particular questions or just answer with, I don't really know. Because hey, that's the truth. I'll do my best to have a good answer for all of your questions, but as I said at the beginning of this podcast, I'm not a historian, so there are aspects of the novel or this time period in history that I will not be able to address knowledgeably, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Alright, so that's it. Submit your questions before September 30th, 2016, and hopefully our 100th episode will be a question and answer session. I'm eager to see what questions you have, so send them to threekingdomspodcast@gmail.com, and as always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the show.